I love video games, you love video games. Unless you don't, in which case I still love video games. Regardless, today I'm going to play a video game that I've never played before. And then I'm going to nitpick it to death. Welcome to New Game Fuss. Today, I will be playing Nioh. I'm not sure what to expect with this one. I've heard of it. I saw the trailers and some of the advertisements and some E3 look at our new game stuff back when the game came out, or slightly before the game came out, and it didn't grab me. I don't know why, really. I mean, it takes place in Japan during the Sengoku area. It's got yokai in it. You fight bad guys with a sword. I mean, what's not to like? I don't know. Just didn't grab it. It doesn't look bad. It just never grabbed me. So it wasn't on my to-get list. But then the reviews came out and people kept talking about it and saying, it's a good game that you should play. And I went, oh, really? So I put it on my to-try-out list, waiting for it to drop in price. You know, once it hit like $20 or something like that, I'd pick it up. Well, these days, you can get it for under $20. I can find it pretty easily right now for $15. But I'm not going to buy it. No, because it doesn't actually cost $15. It actually costs $40, which is more than I'm willing to pay for a game that I'm not sure I'm going to like. Why does it cost $40? Because there's $25 worth of DLC. That counts to me. The base game plus the DLC, to me, equals the whole game. It's $40. Interestingly, I've seen the complete edition on sale for like $20. Occasionally, like on Humble Bundle or on the PSN store. I don't want a digital copy. I want a physical copy, and so far as I know, they don't sell a physical copy of the complete edition of the game. I thought when they announced Nioh 2 that a complete physical edition of the game would be forthcoming, but not so far. So a couple weeks ago was the Extra Life charity event. I bought a subscription to PlayStation Plus, only a month, so that I could play Monster Hunter World with you fine folks. And it just so happens that one of this month's free PlayStation Plus games, free in the sense that you have to keep paying for a subscription, but still, one of this month's free PlayStation Plus games is Nioh! So, I downloaded it. Then I went to bed, because it took like 10 hours to download. So, but it's done downloading now, and I'm going to play it, and see what I think about it, and see if it's a game I want to buy. So, yeah, I'm going to go play now. Be back in a bit. I don't like it. It's just not fun for me. I also don't like the visuals. They're just really dark and muddy and indistinct, and everything looks the same. It's hard to see what anything is or differentiate one part of a level from any other part. Granted, I only played it for like an hour and a half. I only saw the opening area, and so you start out in the Tower of London, I think, in jail in your underwear, which is a good place to start. And you climb up the tower, and then you jump off the tower. Actually, it's funny, because you go outside, and the door's locked, and you find a corpse, and the corpse is like, dude, I bet I could escape from the top of that tower. Corpses talk. It's okay. So you go to the top of the tower, and you beat a boss with a battle axe, and then your dude, Bill, he's like, okay, and he jumps up onto the ledge, and he's like, oh, dude, that is a long drop. I did not think this through. And then he gets shot and he falls off. But he survives. And then he gets on a boat, and then he sails, I think he's going to Japan. He's kind of going the wrong way. Well, I mean, he's going the long way around the Earth, but, you know. So this opening scene, it's at night. It's in a tower made of bricks. and everything looks exactly the same, and it's really dark, and it's raining, and you can't see anything, and then after the boat ride, you get to somewhere, I guess Japan, and it's dark, and everything's just mud brown, and it's dark, and everything looks exactly the same. Which, luckily, the path through the game is fairly linear, so it's hard to actually get lost, but I appreciate that there are several different weapon types in this game, and they all handle and animate completely differently. And a little bit later in the game, you get different stances, medium, high, and low, and that changes how the attacks roll out. That's a lot of extra work. Nice attention to detail there. It's actually animated quite well. The combat is okay. It's fine. I like the chain sickle weapon. I thought that was fun. I like the battle axe just because big smashy fun times. I did not like the fact that you have to manually lock on every single time. It felt like it should default to locking on the first guy you're up against, or at the very least, if you fight a dude and lock on, that means my lock on is on, and it should stay on when I get to the next guy. Lock on. It doesn't do that. I don't dislike the game because of that. It's just something that stuck out to me as this doesn't feel quite right. It's essentially Dark Souls, so if you die, you lose all your stuff and you go back to the last save point, in this case the shrine, which has these little green gremlin dudes, and I found an extra green gremlin dude who has a little green gremlin butt hanging out, so that's pretty cool. And it's like, and the prompt comes up and says, guide him back to the shrine, and your dude is like, hey little dude, go back to the shrine. It's a pretty cute animation. So that's cool, I like that. I like the fact that you have a spirit animal because your anime waifu spirit animal got stolen, so you have to pick a new one. I picked the shark because shark. Unfortunately, I never actually built up my meter high enough to try out my shark. Oh well. Let's see what else. So the combat's okay so far. I mean, it feels like something that's going to be built on later, so it's very, depending on it's actually pretty well done, because you can, if you have a fast weapon, you can just go in swinging. If you have a slow weapon, you kind of have to wait your turn and see what the enemy's going to do and either block or move out of the way. I found that evade is not very useful because you evade just way too far. Evading just rolls you halfway across the room. You're like 80 feet away. You're like, oh no! Okay, I'm back in range. You know, you just go too far away, so you end up trying to run around attacks rather than evade. So that struck me as kind of odd. That's probably one of those just getting used to this kind of, to this particular game's combat. The structure is kind of weird. You start out, as I said, in the Tower of London, where it tutorializes you. So it will continually add new moves. It'll say, okay, here's your heavy and light attack. It's these buttons. You got it? Okay, now here's the button for block. Okay, you got it? Okay. And as you get little prompts along the bottom of the screen that progress as you make it through that opening level. And then you beat the opening level and you get on your boat and it says, would you like to do the tutorial mission? We recommend you do if you're a new player. Well, I'm a new player, so I'm like, yeah, let's do the tutorial mission, which puts you in a dojo of some sort and explains to you most of the exact same stuff you already learned in the Tower of London. There is some unique stuff in the dojo, like ranged weapons and the different high, medium, low stances. That's new. But it's just kind of odd that the whole opening area is essentially the tutorial mission, and then it says, here's a bespoke tutorial mission to tutorialize you after you've already been tutorialized. And then you get to level 1, Japan, and it keeps tutorializing at you with the same stuff. On the bright side, I guess you'll never forget it, but dude, this is the 3rd time you have tutorialized me on this. I got it. Golly Gumphreys. So... one of the things that stuck out to me is kind of... it's a small thing and it shouldn't bug me, but it totally does, is almost all of the set dressing is breakable. So tables and chairs and pots and stuff, you can break all that stuff. Just set dressing doesn't do anything, it just breaks. I like the Lego games because you just punch everything and it all explodes into little the studs, the collectible bits. That's fun. It's satisfying. In this game, it just explodes. Everything just breaks apart when you walk next to it, or through it, or on it, or by it. There's nothing in it. There are a couple large pots and stuff that you can smash that will have some goodies in it, but most of the set decoration you can destroy, but just by kind of clumsily walking against it. I don't know why that annoys me so much. It just feels bad to me. It just feels like walking, it just, tables and chairs just explode when William walks by. It's weird. Really, my biggest problem is I just didn't enjoy looking at the game, and I didn't really enjoy progressing through and fighting. It's just not for me, I guess. I mean, I don't think the game is bad. I certainly... I didn't come away thinking, what does anybody see in this game? No, I think it's just not for me. Which is a shame because, well, I mean, it was free. I didn't pay anything for it, so that's good. My gut is almost never wrong. I mean, there have been plenty of video games throughout my life where I saw the trailers and the previews and whatever, and I went, oh, there's a game? Nah, I don't think it's for me. And then I'll hear just amazing positive word of mouth. People are like, oh my god, this game is great. I'm like, really? Because it doesn't look that great to me. It looks fine, but it doesn't look that great. And then I break down and I try it, and almost 100% of the time, I don't really care for it. I don't know if my gut is just that on point, or if it's some weird psychological thing where I force myself to not like something just so my gut can have a higher percentage at this kind of analysis. I hope that's not the case. That's dumb. But I'll probably put another hour or two in Nioh later. Some games take a little longer than others to get started. Monster Hunter, for example. I love Monster Hunter. But the earlier one, not so much World. World does a better job at hooking you earlier. Some of the older Monster Hunter games, oh man, you gotta put in like 5 hours before you get to anything good. Maybe Nioh's the same. I don't know. But again, I'll probably play it a little more. But yeah, I think the game is just not for me. Oh well.